What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Academy Podcast. In today's episode, we have yet another El Paso-based athlete under the name of Mlouhi, which she played at the University of St. Mary's Division II Soccer. Now, before we begin, I want to give you guys a huge thank you for being 50 subscribers. It really puts all my effort and hard work of my YouTube channel to see that it's growing. We're halfway to the mark of 100, so I want to give you guys a big, huge thank you to each and every single one of you. Anyways, enjoy the podcast, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification for more Chico FC content.
Well, hi, my name is Mlouhi. Born and raised in the 915. I've been playing since I was 6. And the reason I started playing was my dad, he immigrated here from Syria. And over there, like football, soccer, it's life. So he was really into soccer, and growing up, he saw that I was really athletic, into all that stuff. So he had me play, and I fell in love with it from a very, very young age. I was bigger than most girls. I was, in terms of like the growth and everything, I was definitely a very athletic girl growing up. So I think that gave me a little bit of an edge, and plus I just loved it. Like, I would watch it, you know, I didn't have a lot of girlfriends who would watch soccer with me, to be honest, but I would watch it, I would practice in my free time, you know, my dad would play together, and it was just my passion from a very, very young age. So,
Did your dad play soccer? Sorry.
No, it's cool.
Did your dad play soccer too when he was younger?
Yeah, he played in Syria from a young age, and he actually got an offer to play for the national team, U18, and his dad didn't let him, so long story short, he ended up coming to the States and just started a new life here.
Okay.
But yeah, over there, he was like obsessed with the sport, so we definitely bonded over that. We still bond over that, you know, today. Cool. So played club from a young age. I did some wrestling. I was really into the whole soccer culture, right? Had a lot of friends doing it.
All right.
I was on several teams growing up. I was on Angels, Monarchs. No one's going to remember these names. No one's going to remember them. It was so long ago. But Angels, Monarchs, and then Galacticas. And that was the old, I know now they're called Cosmos. But back in the only girls team with Jaime Quintana, with the coach, was Galacticas. And that's actually where I met Sam.
Okay.
And yeah, so I got along with the girls really well. I still talk to them almost daily today. We're all still super close. And that really solidified my idea that I knew I wanted to play college ball. I didn't know anyone who played college ball, to be honest, men or women. No one in my family. My family wasn't very involved in the soccer. You know, the soccer moms who are like all up in they know what's going on with everything.
Yeah.
My parents weren't really like that because they would work so much.
Okay.
So I had to just figure it out for myself. But I knew I wanted to play college ball.
Okay.
So what happened was I went to Franklin, played with the Galacticas, and played high school ball and club ball. And freshman year, I was like, I know I want to be on varsity, and I'm going to work my booty off to get on varsity, whatever it takes. And thankfully I did. I got along with Coach Gilmore, and my high school career, very, very good memories. We did really well. We were undefeated, I want to say, for 4 years. I think 1 year we lost to Socorro, 1 game, but I don't remember the year. But we did well. We would go to playoffs. Got a few awards, you know, which really kind of boosted my confidence. I did AP classes too, though, so it was like a lot of people partied in high school. You know, I had my fun, but for sure it was like soccer, homework, school, practice, training. But I loved it, man. I loved it. It taught me so much. And then, so for Do you want me to get into like my college, how I got recruited and stuff like that?
Yes, because
Yeah. Okay.
this goes like what I was telling Samantha is that your guys' story as girls, right? El Paso's a very strong community for girls soccer. Like you guys could become a foundation to what could become a bigger prospect for colleges to get girls in soccer. I mean, look at the women's national team. They won 4 World Cups, right? Men's national team
Absolutely.
unfortunately hasn't won one. So you can tell the powerhouse that women's soccer is. So that's why like when I first got Samantha to be in the podcast, I'm like I wanted a girl that she's worked hard for what she wants, and that's the whole reason that. And right after her, I was like, well, what if I get more females, right? And then we have little girls in the academy that, they're still little. They have like 4, 6 years old, but they probably might inspire to become athletes, and that's why, like, knowing your recruitment process and everything you went through as an athlete, I feel it would just inspire more girls to go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be blunt. I'm a pretty blunt person, so if I
Yeah.
say things that are a little, heads up.
I'll probably
But
bleep them out or something.
yeah.
No, I'm just
So,
kidding.
so okay, for me, I knew I wanted to play college ball, right? But as I said, I was kind of a little nerdy. Not gonna lie. I worked really hard in school. I was like, I'm gonna graduate top 10. I was like, AP classes, like then they have like took a bunch of AP classes. So education was also super important to me.
Okay.
I don't work well. Okay, anyways. So what happened was, I think it was my junior year, I got my first offer. It was actually for a D1 university in Louisiana. It's called McNeese University.
Okay.
I don't remember the city. It's right next to Houston though, but it was still another state. It was still in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Coach was super nice guy. And I think I'm going to touch on the things that I wish people told me, when I was working to get an offer. Super nice guy. I toured the campus. I don't know if we could talk about finances on this channel, but I think it's super important.
It's up to you. If you want to mention, like, I know, for example, for me as a soccer player as well, because I went in like 4-year gap, right? And I love talking to like the younger kids. Like, if you think you're just gonna go out there and play, like, no, dude, you need to save your money. You need to for sure know what you're gonna do. And if you get an outside offer, you have to be willing to work your butt off. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely up to you if you want to talk about the finance portion of your lifestyle. I mean, it's up to you completely. Like, if you don't want to, I'll just edit it out. Yeah.
No, I do, and I feel like no one talks about it, but you're 18, you don't know what the hell a loan is, you don't know what the hell it's like, you don't know anything, and I think people should talk about it more.
Okay.
So for me, McNeese, he offered me a very good offer. Financially, it was out of state tuition, so at first I was like, not trying to get into a bunch of debt going into college, especially for everything that I worked for. But he gave me a very good offer. But when I went to the school, I knew I wanted to be a business major, which I think is super important. I think guys, girls should kind of have an idea about the education that they're looking to pursue from the school, so that it could align with your athletic pursuits. And McNeese's business school, it was okay, but it wasn't. I was kind of like, I'm gonna risk it. I said no to the offer, and I said I'm gonna wait to get. I believe in God, so I was like, I'm gonna wait to get an offer that I feel right athletically and academically,
Cool.
But it's a great school. I don't trash it at all. The coach was amazing. This is just my stupidity what I was going through. Okay, so
You're fine. You're fine.
So, what?
You're good.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me.
Yeah. So then, I told him, no, thank you, but no, thank you. I told myself I'm gonna keep trying, and I kept trying. Junior year, senior year, when I tell you, I got different offers from other schools, but they weren't, again, they didn't feel right in terms of their location, in terms of the school academically, the team athletically, the coach. It just wasn't a fit. Do I recommend doing this? Probably not. But for me, I really think it was God, how it worked out for me.
Cool.
So long story short, I kept saying, no, this doesn't feel right. I'm not interested in this school. And then came Coach Rich with St. Mary's. So we were in a tournament. I want to say it was our last tournament of the season. Like, my style was kind of getting close. It was my last tournament of the season with the Galacticas.
Okay.
Senior year. Okay, so like, this is it,
Yeah.
This is all.
That's your moment.
And this is, and so, just thinking about it, man, it was so stressful.
I bet it was.
Yeah, man, and I'm saying this to people because I know girls going through this. I try to help them so much when they're telling me, because it's so stressful. You're thinking of finances, you're thinking of your family, you're thinking of your passion, you're thinking of school, you just like, and you're like 17, 18.
Yeah.
So it's stressful, people, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so then came Coach Rich. And he really liked me. He's a fellow JUCO, so I think that's how we hit it off. Him and I got along really well. Our humor was there. And he told me that he really liked the way I played. And long story short, he gave me an offer. And he told me, you're the latest recruit. He was a coach for 20 years, 19 years. And he told me, you're the latest recruit I've ever had in my 19 years here. So I was like, that's God,
Yeah.
That's God. It was in San Antonio. It was a nice transition, I think, from El Paso. It was 8 hours away, still in the state, which was good. In terms of my athletic scholarship, it was very fair, and so was my academic. I was very lucky. So it just all aligns for me, I don't know how. I don't know if I necessarily recommend girls to say, no. I don't know if I recommend that. That's what I did because I'm a pendeja. But in terms of what other girls should do, that was just the way it worked out for me.
I feel just reaching college level, especially at St. Mary's, it's super difficult to just be recruited by them, Me, Aaron, and even my sister. Well, my sister doesn't play soccer, but I also wanted to go to St. Mary's when I was back in high school. It was so difficult to even get an email back from St. Mary's. And that Aaron went to school there, I was like, dude, props. I mean, just being there, it's tough, both academically and financially. Like, it's an expensive school. But
yeah.
you know for sure if the coach wants you, they try their best to give you, hey, this is good. And like, so never say, like, I give you total props that you ended up playing college and everything you did. So.
But, yeah, so that was kind of, that was how it happened. And I think a lot of girls, I don't know how relevant this is, but I think a lot of girls say, my goal is to just get the offer. Like, once I get it, I'm good. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my thing. But that, I learned, was not even half the battle. Once you go into college ball, it's no joke. Like, it is, I mean, they make you work for the money that they're getting.
Yeah,
the money that they're getting. Well, what's what you sign up for. But I think people keep in mind that actually getting there, that's not the end of the battle. Finishing. A lot of girls, my roommate, freshman year, she quit. She got kicked off. My suite mate got kicked off. A ton of girls, like, there's girls who get kicked off, there's girls who can't take it and they quit. So keep in mind, I feel like if I went into knowing that, it would have been easier for me to manage. But when I went there, it was a culture shock. All the girls were from Far East Texas.
I get you.
We're from Far East. Yeah, they're very different upbringing, I would say. I met some nice girls, but some,
brutal.
It's just different. Yeah, it's brutal. I think a lot of girls, my freshman year was for sure my worst year. It was super hard.
What was, sorry,
I feel like a lot.
what was the worst
Wait,
thing you faced? Like, literally, something you could just say, I hope this would have never happened.
like with the girls or with the team or?
Let's say your time there, like, in general, like, it could go very broad, right? Let's keep it simple within the team.
All right, I have a story. I might get in trouble, but I'm gonna say it. Okay, so my first couple weeks there, all the girls kind of knew each other, and I'm sure that's what a lot of El Paso athletes kind of we can relate to, especially if it's a Texas school. A lot of the girls already know each other. They played for the FC Dallases, the Lone Stars. They all played each other, San Antonio, Austin, and then here comes this little Mexican girl from El Paso. You know, I don't even know where El Paso is, and she was super late recruit. So no one really knew who I was. I wasn't in the group chat or anything. A lot of the girls were already bonded. They did, what's it called? The, like, kind of spend the night with the, like,
Sleepovers and all that?
Something like that. I already had, like, all of that little social thing going on. And then I pull up, like, hey, you know, no one knew who I was. So, my roommate was a little problematic in terms of her attitude, and the other girls weren't really a fan of her.
Okay.
But she was my roommate. We see each other every day. We had classes together, and she was my girl. Like, honestly, we kind of clicked in a weird way. Our humor, our jokes, you know. So I was still trying to find my crew. Like, I was trying to find, I'm a pretty friendly girl. I get along with everyone. But this instance in particular, I think is what really made an impact on me looking back, which is why I'm hesitant to bring it up or whatever. So what happened was the coach has the coach in the beginning of every year, he has a big kind of like get together. He used to do this. He had a big get together for all the girls, kind of like a social event in his house. And so, of course, he said it's happening on Friday or whatever day it was at 6 o'clock or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it was about a 45-minute drive from campus. So got in the car. It was me, my roommate, and my suite mate. And we're all driving. I think I was driving. He's all driving. And we get there, and he's in a gated community. And we don't know the gate code to get into his inside. And so I'm not in the group chat yet. I asked the captain several times. I was like, hey girl, you know, I'm not in the group chat, can you please add me? And one thing I learned about girls, I don't know if guys are like this, you let me know, you know, but I think girls, if they see you as a threat in terms of maybe your soccer skill or your whatever it is, they will, and they're a senior, and maybe they see like, oh, this girl's a forward and I'm a forward. Like, I feel like a lot of girls, any age, they try to push you down, especially if they have a lot of power on the team, like their captain or senior. So there was already kind of that tension going on with like the senior freshman, or just upperclassmen, lowerclassmen tension. Uh-huh. But of course, we were still going to go to the social event, you know, so we pulled up, wasn't in the group chat, and I asked my roommate, I was like, yo, text them to ask for the gate code. What's the gate code? And they were like, hey guys, what's the gate code? And they didn't tell us. They wouldn't respond. But the weird thing was, we were like, oh, maybe they're not on their phone. We'll just wait and chill. And then they started texting in the group chat, but they were texting to each other. Like, we would say, hey, what's the gate code? And then they would be like, oh, they're like talking about other stuff. And we're like, guys, for real, like, we're outside. What's the gate code? And we're all freshmen in the car. Okay. And they just start talking. I don't know. To this day, I don't know what they were trying to do. They were saying like gibberish, and then they started like we were like, guys, seriously, we've been out here for 25 minutes, you know, what's the gate code? We were just sitting there, and they were like messing with us, just talking back and forth. And then they started, I don't know what this meant. And then they started sending Mexican flags in the group chat.
Okay.
And I looked around in the car. I was the only Mexican in there. So I don't know. To this day, I don't know what that meant. To this day, I don't know why they did that. But they never sent us the gate code. So I was super pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take well to that, you know. So I was like, I'm not going to, you know, if they don't want us to give us the gate code, fine, let's go back. You know, it was a 45-minute drive. I was like, I'm not about to wait here for another, by that time it was like 30 minutes. I was like, I'm not going to wait here for another 30 minutes. And the coach ends up calling me, and he was like,
Sorry.
he was like, oh, it's cool. He was like, Mlouhi, what's wrong? And I was like, this is BS, coach. Like, I don't know what I did to these girls. I don't know what we did to these girls, but we were out there for 30 minutes. They knew that we were out there. We were texting them. They were sending Mexican flags. Don't know what that means. Don't care. But, like, I'm not about to try to be friends with people like that. I don't know if they're intimidated by some of us or what, but
Yeah.
I was mad. And I was really blunt with him. I was really honest. And he said, no, come back. And I said, no, I'm already driving back. So since that day, we definitely had, I felt like me and my suite mate and my roommate in the car, we felt like it's us against them. They never apologized. They never, I think the coach, I don't know if you got mad at them. To this day, I don't know why they did that, but I think when I was a freshman, that was like my first week there, that was really, really hard for me because I was like, these girls don't like me. They don't want to be my friend. They don't want to, you know, even still wasn't in the group chat, asked them to put me in the group chat. So I don't wish that on anyone. That really, really, really sucked. And so, yeah, in terms of the worst, there was a lot of shitty stuff, but that's probably number one, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Did it affect your playing style and how you got along with the players in the field?
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
It hurt my confidence because I thought, I'm not the type to, like, even in high school, if I wasn't vibing with the girl, like maybe we weren't best friends, I would still pass her the ball. I don't even think about that when I'm on the pitch, you know? Like, I'll give you the ball, I'll let you assist your goal, whatever. You know, I care about the team. I don't give a shit about your boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah.
So I wasn't, in terms of affecting us, like, oh, I wouldn't pass them the ball, no. But definitely, like, my confidence was, I was like, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. All these girls look like this, and they came up with this money. They had this money growing up. They don't know each other, and I just don't belong here. Then my roommate got kicked off, and my suite mate got kicked off. So it was literally just like, I was like, well, there goes my crew. So I don't think that's not their fault. That's my fault. I shouldn't have let it affect my confidence. But I don't know if it's because I'm a girl or what, but it did. You know, in terms of my confidence on the field, I didn't feel like I belonged there, to be honest.
So that was probably the hardest one.
Yeah.
In terms, yeah.
That was probably hard.
So you're back starting again from zero. Now you're on your own. Did you ever feel like going back home?
Every day, yeah,
Really?
for sure. And then when I saw a lot of other freshmen, they couldn't take it either with like the pressure and some of the bullying and some of the time management that goes into being a student athlete. A lot of girls quit. A lot of girls got kicked off. And a lot of them even had family in San Antonio. So they were still feeling lonely. They were still going through stress, even though they had the support of their family right there and their friends. But for me, my family was all the way in El Paso.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone except for Aaron. Aaron was my homie. Me and Aaron came off.
Did he support you in any way?
What's up?
Did Aaron support you in any way? Like, did Aaron know any about this?
Yeah. No, I tried to remember. Him and and I would, okay, because he really wanted to get on the men's St. Mary's team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He really wanted to do that. And I remember, I have a lot of respect for that dude, because he is a workhorse, man. He is a go-getter. He's like, I don't care how many no's I get, I'm going to keep trying. I really respect that dude.
Yeah.
And I needed, you know what, I feel like, in a way, God put that friendship in my life because I needed that for sure. Like, seeing him going at it every day, the passion driving him, I was like, you know what, I can do that. I can do that too, and I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care what the girls say. I don't care if they were bitches to me. I'm gonna do it for me. Like, I'm that second semester there, even the coach who told me, I don't know what happened to you, but your level of play went from here to here, and then I started starting, and I was starting the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for sure there were days, almost every day, where I would think about going back, but I think he probably doesn't know this, but having him there, it really helped me. Him and I would even practice together. So yeah, no, he helped a lot.
He probably knows now.
I don't know him.
So that's cool. That is really cool that two El Paso athletes help themselves outside of El Paso. That is insane. You see, it's the whole reason I started this podcast.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No.
And so
Yeah.
that was up to, what year did you start seeing the change?
In myself?
Yeah, in your soccer, everything. Like, when did you start saying, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do this 100%. That's the whole reason I came here. I'm going to give it my all. What year was that around?
That was, okay, so my freshman year was shitty, right? My first semester was shitty. And then winter break came. I came back home, obviously, for the break. Kind of got my energy together, got my mindset together. And I said, I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to do me. I don't care if they don't like me. Even, I don't care if it gets hard, it gets lonely, whatever. I'm going to do it for myself. And for my family, because my family was supportive. They, like my dad, he came from nothing. My mom's family came from nothing. There was no student athletes in our family, and I said, I'm going to do it for them. And so I came back, got a new crew, to be honest. I don't know if it's a girl thing, but I told my old friends, like, in a way they were kind of negatively influencing me too.
Okay.
And I just kind of distanced myself from them. I didn't say, I'm cutting you off, but I was just distance myself from them. And then I just grind, man. I just grind. I went back. I was doing touches on my own. I was just getting in my own headspace. And that semester, I want to say it was February. We had, how there's spring ball?
Yeah.
Like there's that ball in, okay, so we were playing, I think we had our first game in spring ball, and I did really well. And that's when Coach Rich got the whole team together and said it in front of everyone, which probably no one remembers, but it meant a lot to me. That was like, I just want to shout out Mlouhi. I don't know what happened to you. I don't know what got into you, girl, but you are a completely different player. You're a completely different person. And what you're doing out there is phenomenal. And that was when I started, was like, okay, I can do this. So, yeah, that was fun.
So the best moment of your career in the field, what would you say would be?
My best moments on the field, anytime I would score. I love scoring. In high school, I was like all about that scoring life. And in college, I didn't play my original position. I was a forward. So I played wing. I played outside back. He put me outside back for one season because they had enough forwards. I was a sophomore, but I was like, nah, like, I don't care where you put me. I'm going to play and I'm going to work my ass off. But when I played forward again, and, during practices I was scoring more, during games I was scoring more, I was doing assists, I felt like myself. And that wasn't until my senior year. But, yeah, definitely my happiest moments. I just love to score, man. Like, that rush you get, the love of the game, how you work so hard, you envision it, and then it happens.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite moments. for sure, for sure.
How did you balance soccer with school? Like especially in college, because college is it's like a whole different level of education. How were you able
Yeah.
to manage your time?
It's self-discipline more than anything. Like, I don't think there's a, for anything, and I think Aaron said this in his podcast, and I liked it. He said that the game is super simple, and that's kind of the approach that I took. It's just hard work, man. Like, there's no easy way around it. For school, it was sometimes. There were days where you would be doing homework till 2 o'clock in the morning, waking up for 5 a.m. practice. But it's just hard work. I feel like there's no way to sugarcoat it. Some girls have harder majors than mine. I was finance and risk management, but one of my roommates was mechanical engineering. So, I mean, it's hard. It's hard, but it's all about self-discipline because nobody's going to give it except for you. You know what I mean?
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
During your college time, did you ever think pro life of soccer?
I did.
Really?
I did. I feel like naturally I was never the fastest. I was a strong girl, but I never was the strongest. I never had the best shot. I never had the best touch. I had to work on all of that, and I knew that.
Yeah.
I kind of did all that on the side. But I think every athlete goes through this where soccer becomes your identity, and the thought of not playing is like the first thing people say, hey, what do you do? I'd be like, I play soccer. That would be everything, you know? But the idea of getting to a point where I would just be, you know, having like a normal life, that sounds super dramatic, but, you know.
No, you're
for
fine.
lack of a better word.
It's,
Yeah.
I feel a student athlete, it's technically the life of a pro. You know, you wake up in the morning, train, you go to school. Technically, it's like your rest time from training, and then again, back at it again in the afternoon. Games in the weekends. It's like it's technically you're living the life of a pro. Just the way the education part, right?
Yeah.
Did you have any offers during that time? Like probably for the any women's team outside collegiate leagues?
I did, but I don't know if this counts. I came back to El Paso. I'm trying to remember when this was. I don't even remember what the team is called. I came back to El Paso end of my junior year for summer, and a bunch of people were texting me to try out for this team. I forget the name of the team.
Is it surf?
But it was kind of like for it was like a higher league for El Paso players.
Okay.
And I just kind of showed up. I was there with Sam.
Okay.
I was there with Sam, I remember the name. But it definitely wasn't like pro, like, or anything like that. But it was kind of like that next level after college. And I showed up, and I tried out and I made it. But I was kind of like at this point where as I said, I'm kind of nerdy.
Okay.
And I love business. I love business, entrepreneurship. I'm really passionate about that. And I kind of knew that was going to be my life after soccer.
Okay.
So I think that's when I made the decision, like, not that I was getting offers from pro, you know, I wasn't trying out, you know, I don't want to make it seem like I was, you know, getting offers from everyone. But in terms of pursuing it, I did think about it, but I also thought about my love for business, my passions outside of soccer, which I hadn't thought about in a while, and it just felt right to me to pursue that after I graduated. So
cool.
But it was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard.
If you could go back your freshman year of high school and you could go back in time, what would you tell yourself then?
Oh God. What would I tell myself then? To just do me. To just do me. I was so concerned with having the coach like you, having the girls like you, being good enough in this, being good enough in that. And when I learned to just grind and to just stay in my own lane and to do my best and let God do the rest, that was really shifted my mentality where I was like, I'm just getting back to the simplicity of the game. I feel like coaches and drama and parents and schools and academics, they really, really complicate the game. And it's really, really hard to have a clear head when you're on the field. Mm-hmm. I'm sure every athlete, literally every athlete out there can relate to that. But when you go just back to the simple dynamics, I kind of saw it as like, this is corny, but this is corny. But it's kind of just like dancing. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it, but when you just kind of like feel it, and you get into that mental space where you're not thinking, that's when I would do the best. That's when I felt like myself, and that's when I fell in love with the game even more. So at first, it would just be to like I would just tell myself to dance. Like, I would just be like, just go out there. Don't think, what should I be envisioning? What is this person going to say if I have a bad game? I would just go out there and dance. Like, go out there and
play.
Let it work.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so now fast forward, right now, 2020. I mean, unfortunately, the whole quarantine stuff happened. What was your life? You already graduated college, right?
Yeah, thank God. Yeah, just in December. So.
Well, congratulations. How's life been after soccer?
It's hard. It's hard. But I really think it's important for every athlete to envision that from even a young age, that one day it's all going to end. One day it's not going to be a part of your identity. Or it is going to be, but it's going to be in a different way. Mm-hmm. And that was super hard for me. It's still hard. It's been almost 6 months.
Yeah.
I still work out every day. I still, for no reason, I'm like pushing myself at the gym. I look like, people are like, what are you training for? And I'm like, nothing.
It's like, it's just me. It's your natural nature.
Yeah, and then I'm still waking up like at like 6 a.m., 5:30, just, but I love it. I love it, man. I recommend, and I always tell myself this, I'm not even thinking about having kids, but one day when I have kids, I'm for sure going to put them in sports. Yeah. I'm going to push soccer, but what you take with it, what you take from it when you graduate, when you're done, that you cannot put a price on that. What it teaches you, and then like I'll deal with clients here or customers or coworkers, and I'll say, I learned that in soccer, and people will say, wow, that was impressive. You did this, and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of used to it because that's how I would handle the girls when I was captain. That's how I would lead the team when I was doing this,
Yeah.
So what you take with it, man, it's so precious. And to just enjoy the hell out of it, because one day it's going to be done, but it's always going to be a part of you. I still feel like a soccer player, inside.
Still play at the moment?
I do, yeah. I'll just play by myself, or I'll go, I was asking a bunch of people for like games, but with Corona happening, obviously, that's like a stop for all of them. Yeah. But yeah, I was like in San Antonio, I was still playing. Here I was playing in the, those cages by Gaudio?
Yeah, the blue ones?
Yeah. What's up?
The blue cages?
Yeah, are they blue?
They're behind a church?
Yes.
Yeah,
that one, right behind the church. I was playing there. So, I still play with my dad, I still play by myself, juggle by myself, do ball work by myself. But yeah, it's never gonna leave me, man. That passion for the sport, it always stays with you.
Yeah. So right now, how's quarantine technically?
How is it?
Yeah. how's your quarantine been going?
It's not been too bad. How's yours? How's yours going?
Terrible. I just want to go out in the field again. Yeah. So I currently signed with Southwest FC this past January, February, around that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a fourth division. Before we go high, mate, like it's a fourth division team.
Right.
I know, right? So it's actually a really good experience. I was telling Aaron right after the podcast, like it's crazy. I had a 4-year gap after high school, not playing competitively. I was just playing like an indoor or with friends, but I kept training. And then all of a sudden, the word of the locomotive started. 2 years later, after graduating, and I was like, okay, I'll start training. I did the trials, nothing happened back in 2019. But then I was like, you know what? It's cool. It's 4 years, not competitive soccer. It's still good. I still kept training, and then I went again, 2020, for the roster, and nothing happened then. But I was lucky enough that my friend told me, hey, well, there's this team called Southwest FC. And I'm like, all right, cool. So let's go try out. I tried out, and then about a month and a half later, they contacted me like, hey, we really like you. You want to be part of the team. Even though, funny story of mine, I've never told my story on the channel or anything. I've never played varsity soccer. Never.
Really?
Yeah, I never played varsity. It was always JV and then club soccer. Yeah, I never had the best relationship with the varsity coach, so it was just, I wasn't technically as good as he wanted. So I always thought, club soccer is more my thing, and I just focused in club soccer. And then like around half the season, I got a knee injury, and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna focus on club. And then I went on to club, but no college offers, nothing. I went with Aaron actually to St. Edward's to this the college recruit, those ID camps type of thing, where they have all these colleges, and I'll be real with you, like me and Aaron are close friends because we were like, he was my best friend on the team, and so I was just spending time with him, and we ended up going to Austin, and I didn't get any college offers. I know Aaron did. He got callbacks, and I was like, well, like I always respect that guy because I got him when he was a freshman, right? He had no idea how to kick a ball. I even told him, like, dude, you gotta practice, right? And from there, it's just like we kind of got practice together and stuff like that. And so now that he's in college soccer, he experienced the college level of soccer, and me at Southwest, it's crazy that even though we still think soccer right now at the moment, but afterwards, all right, what are we doing? I know Aaron wants to go into law enforcement. I'm trying to pursue as much as possible this sport and developing my own academy and trying to connect players in the area together, and then hopefully later on be a physical therapist only specified in soccer, right? And so for example, for you went into intrapreneurship, something that's super hard. Like, you are on the ring of fire, right? Especially because you went to the school of business. How as you being an athlete, has that helped you?
Going to the school of business?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I love competition. Like, and that's how it was for business, is it's the competition, the work ethic, the self-discipline. That's my thing. Like, that's why I loved it. So it kind of felt like a natural transition for me. Yeah. But yeah, the competition aspect, Have
you opened your own business at the moment?
So what I that's a whole other story. I don't know if you care, but so I went to when I was in San Antonio. Of course, doing my academic thing. I got an internship. I applied for an internship with USA. Did a bunch of interviews. Okay. Did a bunch of interviews, and I got an offer to be an intern. And then when you're an intern, only a certain number of people get offers to pursue this other program in the financial department. And I got an offer there too. And it was, I love USA. It's an amazing company. By the way, this is something everyone should do. If you're an athlete, I don't care what level, I'm talking JV, I'm talking varsity, whatever, when it comes to business pursuits, you should absolutely milk the hell out of it. Help people. I'm a student athlete. They see you differently, talk to you differently. The level of discipline that they perceive you to have versus everyone else, because it's accurate, is on a different level. Yeah. So that's what I told him. I was like, I'm captain. I've done this. I've done this. I was captain in high school. And that's really, I think, what helped me. So highly recommend whatever level you finish at. Mm-hmm. Just always tell people that. Always tell people that, and they'll look at you differently.
Yeah.
So got an offer from there, but my family has a home building company in El Paso.
Cool.
And I had some friends in San Antonio, but something about just El Paso, the vibe here, the people here, I don't know if it's the immigrant mentality, but it's just kind of like I really click with El Paso people, border town people and stuff. But yeah, and I'm super family oriented, so I said, you know what, I turned down the offer at USA, and I came back home to help grow the business. Okay. So that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah.
So from an athlete to a business owner, kind of, right?
To a business. What?
What
did you say? From an athlete to a business what?
From an athlete to a business owner?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. In a way, but and you? So you're gonna be playing with this team. When do you start practices?
Well, according to the news, right? Well, the other day we talked with coach, so we're gonna have like small group training sessions starting next week, and small groups, hopefully, and then half the team and then full team. Season's supposed to start by the beginning of June, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The season?
Yeah.
Nice.
And
that's exciting.
From June to November, I think. Yeah, because the whole COVID-19 just kind of moved everything. I mean, even with the locomotives and all the USL clubs, like we heard USL League 2 canceled their season completely. So we were actually worried. Yeah, we were actually worried that even our season was going to get canceled because we're right in the same division we're in, right? So we were just like, what's going to happen? Like, I don't know. So hopefully they don't cancel the league at the end. It doesn't seem like it. So we'll find out in the next month or so, hopefully.
But you know what, man? To finish off,
yeah,
I just want to say this. I feel like I have just for you saying that, I have a lot of respect for you too. Mm-hmm. And that's what I liked about Aaron too, is when you come from a city that's super far away from everybody, you're right, you don't get as much experience as the people in East Texas, the Houston, the Dallas area. One thing about people in El Paso, this athletes, and I've met a number of them, who are doing college, is they have that fire in them. They have that drive in them. I don't know if it's a Mexican thing. I don't know if it's an immigrant thing. I don't know if it's an El Paso thing. And obviously not everyone, but the fire that you see in people like you, people like Aaron, people like Sam, where they just grind, and there's you do it for yourself, and your self-discipline, it's on another level. And I think El Paso athletes, I learned that about myself when I went over there. I saw a lot of the girls were kind of complaining a lot, kind of maybe a little entitlement. I think that's something El Paso athletes should be really proud of, is that we have a different mentality and a different mindset when it goes into pursuing our goals. So I think that's awesome that you're doing that. The fact that you said you didn't play varsity, that's more impressive to me, that you're still pursuing it, honestly. I think that's super dope. And I think what you're doing is super dope, helping a lot of us who really didn't have as many opportunities as a lot of other people. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, any shout outs you want to give to anybody that might be watching this? Family, relatives?
Family, relatives? I don't know. I guess shout out to Aaron and Sam for sure. They're awesome. And any other girl watching this or guy who maybe don't feel like they have the most talent in the world but have a lot of heart, shout out to those people because they don't get enough attention. But yeah, so definitely. Awesome. We all have that little girl or boy in us at one point. So.
Yeah, that is true. Cool. All right, so that's about it. Thank you so much. Any other player you want to recommend so we could talk to? Their story would be worth hearing.
Yes. Nicole Cohen. Her and I were both named. She's an awesome girl. She's got really curly hair. She goes to Texas A&M International University, and her and I were both named El Paso Player of the Year when we were in high school. So she's an awesome girl. She's an awesome player.
Okay.
She's smaller, but she's got the heart of a freaking like lion, man. So yeah, I
Right.
recommend her.
Sounds good. We'll get in contact with her. Just send me her Instagram and right away.
Okay,
Right,
I'll do
sounds
that.
good.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
thank you so much, Lauren. You have a good day. Thank you so much for being part of the podcast. So it's awesome.
All
Well,
right.
you have a good
one.
day. Thank you.